Hey, what up guys, this is the Power Up Mushroom coming to you guys with a video of... I need to come with a new opening. Yeah, anyways, I just kind of, I don't know, I was just thinking about and kind of like reminiscing on like or remembering the old games of just last generation, how great last generation really was, and how good this generation's actually starting to pick up. If you really think about it, this year games are really picking up, and like there's a lot of good games coming out this year. We've had a couple of bad ones, but for the most part there's been a lot of great games, and I'm just thinking like how great it was for the last generation of consoles, and I just kind of wanted to share with you guys some of my favorite games from last generation. Let me move this down a little bit, and then there we go. Get my head in there. Anyways, but yeah, and I mean, because last generation we had a fantastic lineup of games that held us up for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 days. So I want to share that with you guys with some of my favorite games from those eras. So here we go. One of my favorite game series that came out during that time. Granted, the series has died. I haven't heard anything from High Moon Studios about any new games, but the Transformers Cybertron series, they came out with Rise of the Dark Spark, but I mean, really, that one really, it was just a spin-off. But really, the way that this series went, I mean, I was so happy to hear that Transformers was getting like a kind of like a video game series, but a really good one. And this one was like acted like as a third-person shooter where you could create your own Autobot for multiplayer online or Decepticon, and it was really cool. Granted, I think this series is really underrated. It is a really underrated game. Well, both of them are really underrated games. This one was really good. This one was kind of short, but I mean, I really enjoyed it for what it was. And just seeing Metroplex, come into the game, it was awesome. Especially in this one, you got the Dinobots that they came into the story, and like I said, it was a really fantastic game, really epic. And I really hope they do another one. I mean, I really hope so. Another game that I really enjoyed was it also went underrated, and no one ever heard about it. But that was 3D Game Heroes. I never thought I'd be able to see like another Legend of Zelda type NES game, and that's really what this one is. You can basically call it the Legend of Zelda, but it's in a 3D format. It's just like it has like these remastered graphics, and it looks amazing. And you can explore. You create your own little 8-bit character too. You can like put little blocks on them to make them look different or whatever. You really have to get creative on this game. And I don't know if you can see the back. Maybe the light's hitting into back, but right there. You can create your own little 8-bit character, and it's really cool. I mean, I really think that anybody who's enjoyed the Legend of Zelda games, specifically the NES version or A Link to the Past, you guys will really enjoy this one because it plays a lot like it. This is another series that this is like a lineup of 3 games actually that I got really into. That's because my stepdad, he picked it up, and it was at Target. They had a demo playing, and I saw him playing, and I'm just like, dang, that looks really cool. And I had never heard of this series before, and he was playing Uncharted 3, and automatically when I saw the game, it was in the Uncharted 3 mission where like they're burning, that mansion's burning down, where Nathan Drake and Sully are in the mansion and starts burning in the 3rd game. I saw that, and I'm just like, that looks cool, I'm gonna go ahead and play it. So I went and got the first 3, and hey, I played through them all, and let me just tell you that this game, this series is something else. It's almost like an Indiana Jones adventure. If you guys have never heard of Uncharted, which I highly doubt you haven't, or I highly doubt you, I highly doubt you haven't. I'm just losing my mind today a little bit, but you've heard of Uncharted, and really, if you guys haven't played Uncharted, I really do think that you guys should give this game a shot. It was legit like an awesome Indiana Jones mixed with National Treasure kind of like story, and the story is really good. I really like the story across all 3 games. I haven't played an Uncharted game that I don't like. I need to pick up Lost Legacy eventually. I'll probably pick it up soon, but I'm just kind of like, I'm just chilling for a bit because there's a lot of I have on my plate right now to play games for. It's ridiculous. But that was another series I really liked, and one of the series I'll never forget. And if you guys don't want to go back and play on the PlayStation 3, they have the Uncharted collection on the PlayStation 4. It did drop down in price to like $25, so I mean, it's dirt cheap right now. You should pick it up. I promise you guys will like it. I'm saying a lot. Dang, I gotta stop. Metal Gear Solid 4 is another game that it just blew me away. This is one of those games that when I got my mom, she bought me my PlayStation 3 as just a gift for no reason. She just got it, which is awesome. I still have it. I'm gonna keep that thing forever. And she wanted to know what games I wanted for it. Granted, she got me Turok, which Turok was pretty cool, and Gran Turismo. And the next game she got from me during that time was Metal Gear Solid 4: Guns of the Patriots. I was in high school at the time, and oh my God, this game was amazing. Like I'd always seen. I had played the other Metal Gears, but it'd been forever, and I heard 4 was out, and I was just like, I need to get that game. So yeah, she went and got that for me, and let me tell you that Guns of the Patriots is probably one of the best games I've ever played in like my entire life. Like just because the game, it wraps up Snake's story so well, and really I consider this game the last Metal Gear game. Metal Gear Solid 5, it was alright, but Hideo Kojima didn't get to go, give Konami, or like Konami didn't let him make the game how he wanted it to be, and I think the game really suffered from that, and it sucks because there's a lot of great things that I really liked about the game. And in Metal Gear Solid 4 though, you could just tell that Hideo Kojima, he went all out because he expected this to be the last Metal Gear Solid, and it really shows all the love that he put into this game. And I really think that if you guys haven't, you guys should definitely give this game a chance. Even if you're a newcomer, I think you guys can really enjoy this game. Just be ready for a lot of cutscenes, and there's a long story, but I mean the story is really good and you guys will enjoy it. But that's one of the, this is probably one of my most favorite games of all time. Probably my most favorite Metal Gear Solid. I think it is. Alright, and during the time I had got my PlayStation 4, Final Fantasy was coming out, and I had heard about Final Fantasy back in like 2006, so I was waiting for this game. And this game came out on my birthday, so Final Fantasy 13. Granted, not a lot of people like the game, and I understand why they didn't like it, and I can agree with them, and all this falls, it's not a perfect game. But me personally, I did push through it. I did get to the open world section of Pulse, and it got a lot better. And if you guys can push yourselves to that point, trust me, it gets a lot better. But I don't blame you guys if you can't make it all the way through. But I really did enjoy the characters. They didn't bother me as much, as people say that they bothered, as much as they bothered other people. I don't know why. I really enjoyed the cast of characters, and I did play the trilogy. 2 got a little better, but I mean, to me the music was just too hyped up instead of like the dark tone that it was taking. In the very end though, the ending, it got pretty dark, and I did like the way it ended. And then Lightning Returns happened, and that one was okay. I mean, I kind of liked it, but then there's a lot of things I liked, but then a lot of things I didn't like, and there's things that I would change just to make it a better game. But overall, I mean, I guess it's okay to end the series that way. I personally I did not like the ending to Lightning Returns. I really didn't. I mean, I get where they were going with it, but I did not like it. I did not like the ending. Alright. Now, we're gonna go into the game that I hated for the longest time. And my friend Jesse had got me into this. It was free on the Xbox store because the second one was coming out, and that was Dark Souls. Little did I know that I would really get into the Dark Souls series, and I'd get really good at it too. And the lore is really deep in these games, and I tell everybody who is trying to get away from the first-person shooting genre, I tell them, play Dark Souls. Like, granted, it's a hard game, but they got to learn the hard way. I'm sorry, they got to suffer, and it takes patience, a lot of patience, but the payoffs are so good. And what made me really enjoy this game, I guess, well, let me tell you first the story that I downloaded this game for free because the second one was coming out. My friend Jesse had told me to download it, and I played the game for like a week, and I was still in like the first section of the game. I hadn't even beat like the Taurus Demon or anything. I finally beat that guy, and then finally I get onto this bridge, and then a dragon comes out, and he obliterates me. At that point, I turn off the game, and I deleted it from my hard drive, never played it again until like a year later. And then I got really into it, and then I hated myself for not giving this game a better chance, and I really enjoyed it. I actually got my friend Ryan to play this game. You might have heard from him from the first One Up talk show, and he hated this game same way as I did, and sure enough, he got really into it. Once his wife got into it though, so I guess I didn't really help him, but I kept on urging him to play it. And let me tell you, if you guys play this in a trilogy, like Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, you guys are really going to enjoy the game because the story really picks up. Granted, the story is told in a different way, but you have to really get into the game to play it. But this is one of the better RPGs that came out during that generation. I really enjoyed it. Oh, and get Artorias of the Abyss DLC. That is like one of the best DLCs to get. Really one of the best DLCs that came out for the games. So, yeah. Another game that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to point out that I got. Granted, this is where I think the series hit like its peak, and all of my friends agree with me. We haven't really gotten that much into the series ever since. And for you guys that are watching this, or I mean, yeah, I was into the first-person shooting genre a lot in high school, and during that time in high school, Modern Warfare 2 came out, and let me tell you that Modern Warfare 2, it is that I never really sat down and played a Call of Duty game like legitly. I played Modern Warfare a little bit, but I played for the multiplayer. But then the story is what got me into the Call of Duty series, specifically Modern Warfare, because you play Modern Warfare 1, the story was getting good, and I think in 2, it just really picked up and told you a really groundbreaking, you know, military story. And not only that, the multiplayer was really well thought out, really well balanced, and I really enjoyed that. Well, no noob tubes, like those like little, I don't know, those grenade launchers, they really killed you. But other than that, I mean, I really enjoyed playing with my friends. We've put a lot of hours into this game, and me and my friend kind of had a bad experience with a third one, where my friend decided to boost in a lobby, and he left the lobby, but people reported me and my other friend, and we got reset after we were like 6 prestige or something during the game, and we just never went back to the Modern Warfare series after that. That was it for us. We did pick up the new remastered version of Modern Warfare, but we're kind of hating it that you need to pay $15 for a DLC pack that we already paid for. It's ridiculous. But that's in a whole another rant for another time. But I mean, we're enjoying it kind of. I mean, we're just not really back into that first-person shooting genre because I really don't think Call of Duty has gotten as good as it was right here. All right, now another game I'm gonna show you guys is probably one of the better games that came out and one of the cult classics as Brutal Legend. Now I'm a huge metal fan, and death metal. I mean, like, I listen to all kinds of metal, and people who know me, they know I like to play riffs on my guitar and on my electric. It's freaking amazing. And really, when I saw this game, it was kind of like a connection you kind of made, because you have freaking Jack Black, which basically he's the lead singer for Tenacious D. If you guys haven't heard of Tenacious D, go check it out. And one of the best songs by them, The Metal and Kickapoo. I'm just saying. There's a lot of profanity. I'm just saying. But anyways, yeah, Brutal Legend, it was really cool because when I played the game, I was just like, oh, I'm going to play a game or something. And granted, it's not a perfect game, but really for anybody who likes metal or likes rock or anything like that, you guys are really going to enjoy this game. This game has a lot of cameos. I don't want to spoil any of the cameos in the game because really the cameos, they just blew me away. I went in not knowing about anything. And really, you guys can buy this game for $3. Look at that. At GameStop, it's $3. So, I mean, there's no reason that you guys shouldn't give this game a try. I hope it becomes backwards compatible eventually, because I would like to play through that again. Alright, so we're going to go into, let me show off a PlayStation 3 game real quick, because this game doesn't get a lot of love because a lot of people left this series after Sonic 06, and I think Sonic Generations is probably one of the better Sonic games to ever be released. Granted, it gave me the same nostalgic feel that Sonic Mania did for some of the levels, but this problem is it's just way too short. It's a short game, but I think that you guys should definitely pick it up if it's like a $20 price, because it's definitely worth that much, because it's a fantastic Sonic game. It's one of the better Sonic games, and everybody says that Sonic was really bad, that he hasn't had a lot of good games. Granted, he's had a lot of good times on the portable systems like the 3DS and the regular DS, like Sonic Rush, Sonic Adventure Rush, Sonic the Dark Brotherhood. I really wish we got another game of that, but Sonic Generations, really, this is where they perfected Sonic and putting him into the 2D platform and the 3D platform sections. They were really good, and I really think that everybody should get, if you're a Sonic fan and you guys don't think there's any good Sonic games out there, give this one a chance because you guys might like it. I liked it. I really enjoyed it, and there's a lot of nostalgia in the game. But I do believe that there was a lot of missed opportunities in the game. If only they would have put more money into it and actually more time, they could have made a really, really fantastic game. Almost probably as good as Sonic made it, but for what it is a really good Sonic game. Don't get me wrong, this game is fantastic. So definitely, guys, try checking that out. My leg fell asleep. This is why I usually stand, but my knee is freaking... I messed up my knee and it hurts to stand so bad. But... Alright, so here's another game that I didn't get to play until like later on in the 360 life cycle, and that's Tomb Raider. My friend Dion, this is actually the copy he gave me, because he had 2 copies of Tomb Raider, which, Dion, thank you for that. And Tomb Raider, I just never thought that Tomb Raider could... It's pretty much as good as the Uncharted series. That's pretty much what it is. And I really like this game as a reboot. And I hope... I haven't played the second one. I have the second one, but I haven't played it yet. But I am looking forward to playing it again. I kind of want to do like a bench play where I play the first one, then jump right into the second one. So I'll probably do that when I have a break or something, or a couple of days off. I'll do that. And from what I played of this game, it's really fun. There's a lot of survival aspects to the game, and the level design is really good. And I really think that if you guys are into like treasure hunting and you don't have a PlayStation 3 to play Uncharted, this is definitely one of the games to play. They also have a definitive edition on the PlayStation 4 with better graphics, and on the 360 with better graphics. So definitely, you guys can pick that up. The games, they're not really that expensive. I think right now Tomb Raider for the Xbox One is going for like 15 bucks. So definitely go ahead and look into it and pick it up. Give it a shot. Really, it's like buying yourself a meal. That's what I see it as. Now, here's another one. This was like early high school that I had gotten really into, and that was the Dead Space series. I had never heard of Dead Space until my friend Jesse, he introduced me to a lot of great games. And Dead Space, it was like I felt like I was playing, why do I keep on moving this thing? I felt like I was playing Aliens, you know? Like I was in an alien movie or something, because it was really horrifying. And the first one is what really got me, you know? And I mean, just how scary it was. And I'll probably do a playthrough of it, because I don't remember much of these games, and they still scare me to this day. Like, I do get scared a lot when I play Dead Space. The second one is the one where my friend, he let me borrow this one. I played through it. I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed a lot of the multiplayer stuff too. What sucked, though, is that you have to pay for online multiplayer if you don't have a sealed copy of the game. So that kind of sucks. That's when EA was doing that whole stupid card thing with, you know, Dead Space. And then I got Dead Space 3. Granted, everybody hated it, but me and my friend Jesse, we were really into the Dead Space series. We were following it. And Dead Space 3 is one of those games that it was really good for co-op, because you experience different things. And at one point it did freak us out, because we'd only play Dead Space at night. So when you're playing online with somebody else, you kind of get this, there's a point in time where like your partner or your friend you're playing with, they'll see something that's not there, but or they'll see something that's there in their game, but you can't see it. Like there's one time where like this wall was turning all bloody, and he was freaking out. He's like, dude, why you're not seeing this? And I thought my game was glitched, but then halfway into level I started seeing something. I'm like, dude, there's a nutcracker on the floor. That thing looks freaking weird, and it's speaking to me. And he started freaking out, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It was just a whole different experience playing with 2 people. I think Dead Space 3 is meant to be played with 2 people, because it gets real scary. Granted, you have somebody there with you, but it's a really scary game if you're playing with 2 people. Granted, it got a little more into the action or third-person shooting action type game like halfway through, but I still enjoyed the game for what it was. The DLC was alright, but I really hope they make a 4, because that cliffhanger sucked. Alright, now we're going to wrap this up. We're getting close to wrapping it up, and I'm going to talk about the Fallout games. So Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3. Granted, these games, they were, of course, they're fantastic games. I love New Vegas. I don't know why it gets so much hate. And Fallout 3. One of the things that me and my friend were doing, we were going to a career academy at the time. It was like a high school, but you know, you're going to college for it. You're getting college classes or whatever. Or you know, college credits. And during our days off, we would take this game and we'd start new characters, and we would just play through it. And we'd stay up to like maybe 3 in the morning, right before we're supposed to go to school or something, and we just play this game through and through, and like doing different missions and helping each other out, and just telling us like, hey, or telling each other like, hey, I'm in this like level right here, or I'm over here in this cave, and it got really interesting, and different things that we would find just by playing together and talking over, the microphone on the 360. It was really cool. And hey, my friend Alex, you know who you are, Alex Korn. We had a lot of great times with Fallout New Vegas, and not only that game, but when Skyrim came out, I was actually close to dying. My lungs were about to collapse. I didn't know that yet though, and I could barely talk, but my family just asked me like, hey, what game do you want to get, or is there a game that you want? And I just told them Skyrim, because everybody was telling me about this game, Skyrim, and I'd never played an Elder Scrolls at the time. And let me tell you guys that Skyrim is probably one of my most favorite games of all time, because of how vast the world is and how open it is and how lively it was. Same thing with this game. Me and my friend Alex would stay up all night playing this game and just telling each other where to go, and we put a lot of hours into this game. So many hours that I actually had to buy like on my copies for the 360, I had to buy maybe like 4 or 5 copies of Skyrim, or like replace them. I had to replace them, I think it was like 3 or 4 times. And hey, oh my god, it was such an experience. So if you guys haven't played Skyrim, trust me, get the special edition on the Xbox One or PS4 and play the game, because it is amazing. They also have mods on there. So yeah, there's that. All right, and I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna just wrap it up with this last game, because there's a lot of games that I would really like to talk about, but this one is probably one of the bigger ones, where I had a lot of friends. We played and really brought everybody together, during high school, and it's Halo Reach. Halo Reach is one of those games that I think it revived the Halo series. I mean, Halo 3 was fantastic. ODST was a really underrated game. I don't know why people don't like it. Well, I know why they don't like it, but I really enjoyed the game personally. For my friend, it's one of his most favorite games of all time and his favorite Halo. But for me, personally, I think Halo Reach is at the pinnacle, like, of all Halo games, because it did everything. Like, Bungie really went all out, everything that they could do to just get this game out there and make it as good as it can be. It got some of my friends who were into Call of Duty and not playing Halo anymore, it brought them back. Me and my friends, we would go online and we got really competitive with the game. We joined tournaments, we did a bunch of things. We played the campaign on Legendary, and I remember at night, midnight, I went and got the collector's edition with my parents. My friend Alex came on a skateboard, and he went there just to be there on opening launch. There was this whole thing going on in the strip with like just people just partying in Las Vegas because of Halo Reach. It was so big. It was probably as big as Halo 3 and Halo 2's launch. And during that time, I really, when I got online, it shows the amount of people that got online, and it was like at 4 million. I'm just like, all right, cool. And I skipped school the next day. I was just like, no, I'm not going to. It's freaking, I think it was like junior, or I don't remember what year it was, but I was so excited for the game, so I skipped school. In the days I would go to school, I'd come back and I'd jump right on this. And the population kept on going up. I think the highest it went was like 14 million. And for like 3 months straight, it stayed at 9 million players. It was 9 million. It'd go off at night or something, it would drop, but by the next day, it'd go back up to like 10, 11 million. And then I think like by like 9 months, it started dropping to like 2 million or like 1 million players. And then it was just like, okay, people are playing new games and all that, but every now and then you get the new DLC, then it jumped right back up to like 1 million and everything. And it was so cool. All the maps in here were well thought out, and probably, like I said, it's probably one of my most favorite games of the last generation. That and The Last of Us. But this is the one where we put a lot of hours into multiplayer, making maps, doing custom games, doing custom lobbies, playing the campaign on Legendary, on Lasso, getting all the challenges. And this game, it sucks that that's it. Like, the game is really I'm just glad I was there for the launch. I'm so glad I was able to experience this game the way I did with a bunch of friends, and really it felt like I was playing LAN parties or stuff like that, like during the Halo 1 on the Xbox, the original Xbox, or Halo 2, and it felt just as big as Halo 3. And I mean, the amount of secrets in this game and the amount of things that you found, this is definitely an experience for all Halo fans. And I really think if you're a Halo fan, it's been a while and you missed out on this game, you guys definitely got to pick it up, because it was a really fantastic game. And during the time, it was something that everybody was talking about. Really one of the killing apps on the Xbox 360, because I think the 360 really picked up when it hit Halo Reach. Like, that was one of the best years for gaming. So, and the marketing campaign for this game was awesome, especially that Deliver Hope trailer. Like, man, it just made you tear up. But definitely, this game has had like probably one of my most favorite games of all time, But anyways, really, those are some of the games that I liked from last generation. I'm gonna make another video. Don't worry, these aren't the only games I played with last generation. There are plenty of games that I enjoyed from last generation. Specifically, The Last of Us. I really enjoyed that. But I mean, there's like I said, there's just so much to say about like last generation because it was just so good. But I just kind of, like I said, I just kind of want to talk about it because now I see this generation starting to pick up on the amount of games that are coming out, and they're great quality games, by the way. But really, that's kind of all I want to talk to you guys about. But anyways, if you guys really like this video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, upvote if you're watching on Vidme. But remember, I think you can click my subscribe button. It should be like right there. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. And until next time, guys, remember when you're gaming, power up.